Welcome back, everyone, to another The Sports Scoop video. Today, we are doing our NFL Power Rankings for the Divisional Round. I haven't done a Power Rankings video. I haven't done one, I think, since with Dylan a while ago. But, yeah. We're going to go from 8 to 1. 8, we're going with the Rams. This Rams team's definitely rolled over the Seahawks team. I feel like the only reason they're at 8 is just because of what they're lacking on offense, which is a quarterback. Obviously, Wolford went to the hospital after a hit from Jamal Adams. Goff, with the pins in his thumb, got it done against the Seahawks. But I feel like now, as there's the better teams keep going on, they're going to face better matchups. So I think I have Rams here at 8.
I think the Rams, they're a very good team, but I think the problem with them is they've been really inconsistent. You see them play really well against good teams like the Seahawks or the Cardinals, but then they fall flat against teams like the Jets. But all I know is that they have one of the best defenses in the NFL and a really good running game. And they're playing Green Bay in the first round, and Green Bay, they know about a good defense and a good running game from San Francisco last year. So.
Number 7, we have the Cleveland Browns, led by hot-handed Baker Mayfield, someone who's, as Surge said, if you guys saw our divisional round predictions, someone who could be a top 5 quarterback right now, someone who's playing very, very well, ripped apart this Pittsburgh offense, putting up 48 points on them in Pittsburgh, let's not forget. This Browns team is very good, and I feel like we're just not used to the Browns, as I said, being good. Where that's the bottom line is this Browns team has not been good for such a long time. Longest playoff streak where they haven't made it. Baker Mayfield, as I said, is looking incredible. Jarvis Landry's been playing very well. I think Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are what pushed this team above the Rams. I think offensively and defensively, they're more rounded. So I think 7 here, but I feel like all the teams above just more experienced, and I guess we're just used to them being good teams, and the Browns just were not.
More than that, though, I think the Browns, while they have been really good, it's not really an indicative of how good they've been. It's more how good the other teams ahead of them are. No disrespect to the Browns. They have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. Baker, again, I've told you, definitely top 10 right now. He think he's closing in on top 5. Got a great running back duo, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, and Jarvis Landry. Don't forget about him. The defense is a bit suspect, but again, I think they can get into a shootout with anyone, even Kansas City, which is why I think the game will be close, as I said in my predictions video. But I think there are just too many good teams that are more well-rounded than Cleveland, so for that reason, I have them at 7.
On to our number 6 spot, where we have the Tom Brady-led Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team which was, if you guys saw our Buster Boom, the OG Buster Boom series, I feel like they were, since they had such a good team, people were predicting them to be so bad because they were too afraid to be predicting them to make the Super Bowl, if that makes any sense. It was like reverse psychology. Buccaneers team obviously have been very good. We've seen that they can crumble to good teams against the Saints mid-season. Number 6, because, and I can't really tell you why. Again, I feel like the teams that are lower are simply there just because the teams ahead of them are just like more talented. And 1 to 8, there's not that much of a difference in terms of skill wise. All of these teams can compete with each other. So in terms of that, this Bucs is a very, very rounded team. Tom Brady's looking very good. Antonio Brown's looking good. Those 3 receivers are looking like one of the best receiving cores in the league. But I feel like just, again, they're at 6 just because of the competition ahead of them.
Like I said, no real questions right now about the Tampa Bay offense. They really struggled in the first half the season, but they've really turned it on. Brady, since that Saints game, has been lights out. He's been insane. AB starting to pick up pace. Evans and Godwin are really good. Ronald Jones might be back. And their offensive line's very good. Defense, again, is a bit of a question. I think secondary mainly. I think they've got a really good front 7. But right now, the secondary in recent games has been amazing. Taylor Heineke, he played very well against them. Good teams, like they're playing the Saints this week, Michael Thomas, and that will be a very tough matchup for them. But again, I don't think it's not really indicative of how good they are. It's more that how good the other teams are. So I have Tampa Bay at 6.
On to our number 5 spot, just below mid-pack, we have the Baltimore Ravens, led by again, another hot-handed quarterback in this list, Lamar Jackson. Overall, this team we've said it over and over again. If you guys follow our content, this team got hot at the exact right time, which I think is why they're skyrocketed up this list. Originally, if you had given me these 8 teams and said rank them a couple weeks ago, this Ravens team would be last. They've obviously now picked it up. Lamar Jackson looked great against Tennessee. Marquise Brown's looking like a top 15 receiver going into next year. J.K. Dobbins, who's broken onto the scene this year, is looking good. The only reason some experts said why this team isn't higher is obviously how they perform when behind. Something Surge has noticed and brought my light to, and as you think about it, obviously it's true. They just don't perform well behind leads. So I think performance-wise, they drop a little bit. But I feel like their defense, how they shut out Derrick Henry, can't go unnoticed. So they're here at number 5.
I really like the Ravens right now because they're one of the most, in my opinion, the most balanced team in the NFL. They have a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense on how both have been playing the past few weeks. The going behind is really concerned. They kind of exercised that, though, against Tennessee. They were down 10-0, came back to win. That was a huge win for Lamar Jackson. I think, again, a scary thought is, I already said this in my predictions video. Again, check that out if you haven't. And they're playing the Bills, who are going to be a really tough matchup because Baltimore love to blitz often. Josh Allen is one of the best pocket passers in the NFL. And I don't know, it's a bit scary for them, but I still think that defense, Wink Martindale, in my opinion, one of the best DCs in the NFL, will really help them. They need to get ahead early. They need to get a good start. I think with Lamar Jackson, they definitely can.
Where at number 4, we have the New Orleans Saints. Now, this one I feel like with the Ravens is a bit interchangeable, but again, as we've said, all these teams are close. Saints, like the Ravens, have a very, very well-rounded roster. Defensively, they're top 5. Offensively, when they're performing, they're top 5. Obviously, they had Michael Thomas back against Chicago. Kamara coming into this game, which I feel like could be a reason why they're boosted here. It will have, practice reps. Obviously, he was off because of COVID reserve the week before the wild card matchup. And we saw how he was rough around the edge, dropping some of the handoffs to Drew Brees and wasn't as productive as usual. He kind of picked up at the end of the game. So I feel like they are here due to how deep they are roster-wise. And I think when Drew Brees been one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game with Michael Thomas back, you really can't doubt this offense with Alvin Kamara, with Latavius Murray, with this offensive line, which is a top 5. This team is very well-rounded. So they're middle of the pack at number 4.
And I also really like this New Orleans team. I think it comes down to how another team can stop Alvin Kamara, because he has been one of the best weapons in the NFL, and he's obviously one of the most valuable weapons to New Orleans, because without them, I'm not saying they're one-dimensional, because they actually do play well even without him, but he puts them over the top into the elite category. Again, that defense is very good. Questions about Drew Brees, I think, are the main reason why they can't be any higher than number 4, because he's got a great supporting cast around him. They're still definitely deserving of the top half in this power ranking, so 4 for Saints.
Moving into the top 3, I would say these are the 3 teams that are the top Super Bowl contenders. At number 3, we have the Buffalo Bills, led by Josh Allen, as Serge said, one of the best pocket passers in the NFL, someone who's become incredibly accurate over this season. They've gotten Stephon Diggs, which is a massive reason why they are, first of all, in the divisional round, in the playoffs, and why they are ranked so high. A storyline which is one to follow, not a big one, is obviously Zach Moss will not play for the rest of the season with, I believe, an ankle injury. So Devin Singletary, someone who bursted onto the scene last year, will be their lead back. They're not well-rounded. I mean, it's basically Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. And then, we have Gabriel Davis and you have John Brown and Beasley. Beasley, can't forget about. He's very good. But their offensive line isn't incredible. I would say it's a mid-tier offensive line. Defensively, they're very good. Their linebackers aren't great. And their defensive line is okay. I feel like run defense, they don't have a good one. Their safeties obviously are 2 of the best in the league. They have Tre'Davious White, Levi Wallace. So I feel like it's just there are some teams where they have such a lethal duo or a source of points in Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, which I think is why they're number 3.
Another storyline with the Zach Moss injury is that the Bills did pick up Devontae Freeman off waivers, which will be huge for them. They need a running back that, not that they really need to rely on, but they can at least give them maybe 10 carries a game. A lot of Josh Allen in the running game. We saw that against Indianapolis. Expect to see that again against Baltimore. And I think that offensive line is very good. I think they're top 5 based on how they're playing right now. Got so many offensive weapons. Flo are probably, I think right now, they're the hottest offense in the NFL, definitely. And that defense, Matt Milano, Tremaine Edmonds in that linebacking core have been absolutely outstanding in recent games, and a really well team, good on offense, good on defense. They're going to be really tough to beat for whoever plays them.
But number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs, which is surprising. The Kansas City Chiefs are not the top of the list, which obviously is surprising. If you guys have seen, again, go check it out, our divisional predictions. It'll be at the end of the video, and it will be one of our most recent videos. we said that this Kansas City Chiefs, something Surge emphasized in the video and something I agreed with, is that this Kansas City Chiefs has had a lot of arising problems. Now, why am I talking about their problems when they're the second best team that we have ranked here? Because of how good the Chiefs are and why people think they should be number one, I want to explain why they're not. Offensively, they haven't looked great. Patrick Mahomes has been very good, and obviously I'm not going to hate on Patrick Mahomes, but a problem I've seen arise, he drops too far back in the pocket. They don't have a great offensive line, and I feel like the way he's so dynamic and is able to make plays makes up for when he gets pressured. But when he gets sacked, they lose 15 yards. Obviously, going to the good things, they have Tyreek Hill, one of the best receivers in the league. Patrick Mahomes, who is elusive and dynamic and accurate, and one of the best quarterback in the league. And defensively, they're not amazing, but their offense makes up for that. So number 2 here.
Main reason why is, again, the lack of a running game. I think they've really struggled in run blocking. The offensive line hasn't been really good in recent weeks. 7 sacks in 3 games. That defense, especially that run defense, has been very suspect. Again, Mahomes, best quarterback in the NFL. Even with Aaron Rodgers winning MVP, I think overall you'd rather have Mahomes on your roster, considering he's much more younger, and I think he's got a lot more talent throwing on the run now. The best offensive weapons in the NFL: Hill, Kelsey, Watkins, Hardman. So again, I'm very concerned about this team. Not going to get an easy game in this playoffs, but I think because they're the defending Super Bowl champions and that they're 14-2, I think they still deserve that 2 spot.
At number 1, you guys guessed it, the Green Bay Packers, led by Aaron Rodgers, who should be the MVP. We don't know yet. And Davante Adams, the best receiver in the league by a mile. Someone who's important in this power ranking, A.J. Dillon's been playing very well. They obviously have Aaron Jones. Their offense is very, very high-powered. I think a big reason why Aaron Rodgers might get pressure more, obviously, David Bakhtiari, probably the best tackle in the NFL, is out for the rest of the season. But I feel like they're number 1 just because the way Aaron Rodgers is playing. He is playing incredibly. What is he? How many touchdowns have you thrown for? 45. Yeah, I was about to say 45 touchdowns. Davante Adams is playing like a running back in terms of the volume he's getting and the touchdowns he's getting. He's getting so much volume from this team. Offensively is my problem with the Packers, and I feel like you could slide the Chiefs ahead of them, in my opinion. But I feel like they're number 1. The Davante Adams, Aaron Rodgers duo is something you do not want to go up against right now.
Packers, in my opinion, are the team that have the least weaknesses in the NFL right now. Of course, I think people thought Rodgers was washed, and then he throws for a career high in touchdowns. And we're at a system where he finally actually has help. He has a good coach, has good wide receivers, has a good tight end, has a good running game, has a good offensive line. And that defense has really been picking up in recent games. That run defense that was so suspect all year has been really good. Kenny Clark has been stepping up. We've seen in the secondary Jair Alexander, Adrian Amos.
Because Clark was injured.
Linebacker. Yeah, exactly. It's been very, very a lot better for the Green Bay, and I think right now, the way they're playing, I think they're the best team in the NFL.
And that ends our divisional round power ranks. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below who you guys have. We say it every video. We will respond to all your comments. Make sure to check out our divisional round predictions, which we talk so much about in the video. That will I will have it at the end of the video on our end screen. As well, let us know what you guys think of the new camera quality. Hopefully you guys enjoy. If you're new, we generally do not have this good camera quality. But thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you did enjoy. And we will see you in our next video. Make sure to go check out all of our socials, our Instagram. We will see you in our next video. Thank you guys so much for watching.